What is up, girls and boys? This isn't really your full-fledged video. I just thought of making this one because Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town has just been updated to version 1.04, and the patch notes for this update, it's already available for download. You can download. You probably have already downloaded it, so you're wondering what are the fixes? Are there any fixes for version 1.0.4? That's a mouthful, of Pioneers of Olive Town, and the answer to that is yes. And there's so much more that I want to talk about, but first let's go over the fixes. Version 1.04 notes that it now has shorter loading times in general, which is awesome because this game is plagued with so many loading screens. And although, thankfully, when the game came out for the US and for the European versions of the game, and all the other versions of the game apart from the Japanese one, we already got version 1.0.3, which already addressed the atrocious loading times of the game. But now they've already shortened it once again, so that's fantastic news. I haven't really seen it for myself. The update for me just finished downloading because I was resting the whole day and also editing the videos for the coming days. I'm just putting this video in the forefront of all of those. But yeah, it also fixes an animation when making a special prayer at the shrine. So it's one of those things. A special prayer is something that you unlock as you progress the game, as you get more spirit points. It also fixed an issue where the save data could become corrupted after an animal is born. So if you manage to, you're one of the unlucky ones that got their save data corrupted, you don't have to worry anymore about, getting another corrupted save file. And for all of us who were lucky enough to not experience such data corruption, well, we don't have to worry about that as well. The fourth on the list is that it fixes an issue where the game could freeze after the child adoption event. Now, I haven't gotten that far yet, so I didn't know that there was an issue like that, since I was focusing more on building the town and making my farm look as beautiful as it can possibly be, considering the limited customization that we have for it. The game no longer apparently freezes at that particular scenario when you adopt a kid. So this only is an issue for those who went down the LGBTQ plus route in the game, the same-sex marriage route in the game. And also, this patch, it also fixed an issue in the game that created infinite items under certain conditions. Now, I didn't want to tackle this. I didn't want to make a video for that item duplication trick. Thankfully, I don't have to anymore, but I had planned that. But with this, I don't really need to do it anymore because I feel like it's such a game-breaking thing that I didn't want to share it. Unlike the mine exploit that I shared for, Friends of Mineral Town, that still required you to do extra work, But this one, thankfully, they made sure that you won't be able to use it anymore, so I don't have to make a video of it anymore. It also added a language setting menu under options in the game's title screen. So I'm not really sure what those languages are. I can only understand English, of course, my native language, but I doubtful that they would add my native language into the game. But yeah, and also other minor bug fixes. Now, I don't know what those minor bug fixes are, but I hope that one of them is the graphical glitches, because there are plenty of graphical glitches in the game, like the bear being stuck in a rock, or wild animals in general being cut off in the background or something. And also I ended up having a glitch in my own game where I wasn't able to pick any item up. I wasn't able to forage anything. I could still, you know, interact with the menu and, you know, go inside doors, talk to people, but I couldn't do anything in my farm, and I had to exit the game completely and reload it again just to fix that. So I hope that one is fixed as well, so I don't have to worry, you know, we don't have to worry about that glitch happening in our games. Now, why did I make a video for the update? Well, because it's interesting that they're fixing it, you know, so soon. Well, soon for us, because the game just released in the West, but it's been out for a while in, you know, Japan. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is the upcoming update 1.0.5, which is really the bigger news in this patch notes that we got. What can we expect basically in version 1.0.5? First of all, the makers. They are going to update the makers so that we can now, you know, change the functionality basically of the makers so that the maker can now be able to create multiple items. So they're going to go down that route. Thankfully, they listened to the request and the complaints of the people who have played this game, of the fans. So that's something to look forward to. Another thing that they will be changing and adding in version 1.0.5 are added dialogues for the characters. They are, as of this moment, based from the patch notes, writing new dialogues so that players can enjoy getting to know the residents of Olive Town even more than before. Because, you know, the dialogue of this game is nothing special. It's not like the previous Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon games where, you know, you're more invested in the characters. Here, they're interesting, but they're sadly bland, you know. But now they're doing something so that they'll add more dialogue to it. What else? So those are the two major feedbacks that the developers got from all of us, from the community, and they're fixing it. So what else? So let's read it here. Upcoming version 1.05 information. What else can we expect? So first of all, adjust some of the residents' existing dialogue and adds new dialogue, which is something I've already tackled, as I said before. Changes the functionality of all makers. We've tackled that as well. Improves visual during eating scenes, which is, it doesn't matter what you eat, actually, you get the same cutscene over and over again. 4, adds the ability to lock movement in a straight line rather, which is useful because even if I'm using my DualShock 4, my PlayStation 4 controller on my Nintendo Switch to control the game because my Joy-Con is experiencing drift issues, even at the good days that it doesn't experience that drift issue, I'm still having a hard time controlling the game. If it isn't obvious during all the videos, in all the videos that I have published. So they're adding that. They're adding the ability to lock movement in a straight line. They're also adjusting cooking times, and they are removing the need to press the A button when moving from indoors to outdoors. So it's going to be a clear transition. So it's probably going to be a player touch. You touch the door, you get out of, or get inside the building that you're trying to get in or out of. So that's useful as well. But yeah, those are just some of the things that they'll be adding and changing when version 1.0.5 comes out. Now, when is this update coming out? There is no word yet, but they did promise that, it will be soon. We just have to be patient. Now, if I'm going to guess, I'm guessing that this will be out before the DLC, the first batch of DLCs from the expansion pass comes out. From what I've gathered, the first DLC, the first expansion pass that we're gonna get, the first added content that we'll be getting, we'll be getting it this month, in the month of April. Now, when that would be is anyone's guess. They didn't provide us with a specific date. So if I'm gonna really, take a gander on when this version 1.05 massive update is gonna be, I'm guessing it's this month as well. But I'm really happy and relieved that they are listening to our suggestions and our valid criticisms and making the game better even after it has been out for a while, because it's not just the Western audience, the Western players who actually spoke up about the issues in this game. It's also the Japanese players. So they've been playing this game a lot longer than us, and they've experienced all sorts of problems in this game. But thankfully, some of it is gonna be fixed. Some of it has already been fixed because of update version 1.0.4. But yeah, that is what this short video is about. The future of Story of Seasons, pioneers of Olive Town in the Nintendo Switch. Now, I hope that you're as stoked, as excited as I am, that I really hope that you guys are also looking forward to this update, because I really want to get to know the villagers more. I want to get to know them more in depth. It's like, even if you watched all the events that the villagers have, because there's only a few compared to the previous titles. Personally, I've encountered 2 for each villager, not counting the bachelors and the bachelorettes. But there's 2 villager events for those, or friendship events for each of them. So I'm hoping that they'll be adding more, because they're interesting, but again, they're kind of bland. And also, I'm looking forward to the maker that's gonna be finally gonna make our lives a lot easier. And also, whatever else they haven't added, because it's doubtful that these things that they did share, that these are the only things that they'll be adding and changing in the game. But yeah, that's all for today's short and sudden video, because I really didn't expect an update and also information on what to expect in the next one. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye bye now, everyone. Keep safe, stay at home.